day again, and thank you again for turning into the Speakers Bureau today. If you're just rolling past your channels and you came upon the St. Lucie County Public Schools Speakers Bureau, this is your day. And the reason why I say that is because this program is meant to encourage, inspire, and motivate you, our community, our children, you. And so we do that through bringing wonderful community members who have done something great, I believe, in this community. We bring them on to share their life story. And the reason why we want them to share their life story is because we want others to know that even those of us that many may look on and say, oh, they must have had a silver spoon in their mouths, you know, really get to understand what it took us and what it will take each of us to succeed in life. And it's doesn't have to be according to what your experiences have been. It's according to how you deal with those experiences. So today we have a wonderful guest. I'm so grateful that he has agreed to come on to the Speakers Bureau. His name is Joe Lezeau, and he is the current principal of St. Lucie West K. He is also the former principal of Westwood Academy in Fort Pierce. And so, Mr. Lezeau, thank you so much for coming on the Speakers Bureau and being willing to be open and tangible to the people out there so that we can learn what you have done to be successful and be where you are today. That's what it's all about. We want to know your secrets. We want to know what you've done to get where you are today. And maybe you did have a silver spoon in your mouth. I don't know, but we're going to find that out too, right? Because there are young people out there who are growing up with silver spoons. They have their mother and father in the home. Their father and mother are loving people and take very good care of them. And then they rebel. And they don't realize what they really have in life. So we could talk to you too out there, right?
Absolutely.
To let you know that what you have, you need to really appreciate and climb on that foundation that you have. And for those who may not have that, we also have a way. You're like me, I didn't have it. And I don't know what our speaker is going to say today, but you're going to fit somewhere in that place. So, Mr. Lezeau, thank you so much. It's been a long time.
Yes,
I feel that I've known you now.
Yes,
and, you know, how long have you been in the school district?
This is year 24 for me in St. Lucie Public Schools.
Okay. I had a feeling that you were here before I got here.
It's been a while, yes.
Mine is 14 years as a school board member. But my goodness, you've been here for a while. Yes. I've been in the community for over 40 years. Originally from up north, New Jersey, but this is home. After 40 years, what are you talking about?
Exactly. That's
and
where I fit.
my daughter graduated from Westwood, which is your former high school. And she's doing a wonderful, wonderful thing in the community now. And then my husband, Fort Pierce Central, he's that part of that old men group that with all state and won, the only time that we as a county, so they're still meeting, you know.
Football championship, 1970 group. I understand. I know them very well.
Yes, and then I have one that graduated from Lincoln Park Academy, and so, you know, we're around, all around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell us something, start out telling us what you do at St. Lucie West K.
I am the proud principal of St. Lucie West K Middle School, and I have the lovely privilege of inspiring the youth, the future generation, ensuring that we provide them a safe, predictable learning environment each and every day, work with the fabulous, and I'm going to say this, the best doggone faculty and staff in St. Lucie County, and they make my job easier. I get to go in every day and rile up all the kids and send them back to class. And now the teachers are saying to me, Mr. Lezeau, please, when you make your visits, make your visits a little bit less pronounced. Because the learning must take place here, and we do. And it's an enjoyable opportunity just to see the youthfulness, the joy of the children each and every day, and they put a smile on my face. And that's the smile that I try to radiate throughout the campus each and every day when I'm visiting classrooms, talking with parents, talking with community members as well.
So as a principal, what is your job? What does it entail? I know you're motivating everybody and you're going to the classroom and stirring the kids up and all that. But what is the professional
responsibility? You know, I can't quantify it with just words and actions. It's more so for me is ensuring that we're providing the students with the quality education that they need. You know, following the mission of St. Lucie Public Schools, that we ensure that students graduate equipped with the skills and knowledge to be successful and contributing members of our society. So my priority, #1 job, is to ensure that the instruction is meeting the full intent of what our state of Florida has deemed as the standards to drive the instructional focus for our boys and girls here at St. Lucie Public Schools.
And what is your educational background?
Well, my educational background, well, just to go back a little bit, Dr. Mills, I am also a product of St. Lucie Public Schools.
Oh.
I also graduated from Port St. Lucie High School.
Okay.
1996, I had to go back and reflect that.
Okay.
I attended Dan McCarty Middle School when I first arrived here. I moved, this is year number 39 in St. Lucie County. So as you say, this is home. Well, I am a Brooklyn, New Yorker, so I still claim roots to my New York heritage.
All kind of things
Absolutely.
today.
I'm still claiming roots to my Brooklyn people out there, my New Yorkers. But I've been here for a long time in St. Lucie County. Having an opportunity to be raised here, born here. My children are also products of St. Lucie Public Schools. All 3 of them graduated high school here in St. Lucie County. Now all 2 of them have graduated college already. One in
Which
first
high
year.
schools did they go to?
They went to my oldest son, Cordell. He graduated from Fort Pierce Central. My daughter graduated from Fort Pierce Central, and my son graduated from Centennial High School.
Okay.
And now he's in college this year, first year in college. Just came back home, eating me out of house and home as well. So that's
but at least he went to college.
Absolutely. You know,
I said at least he went to college.
He did go to college, you know.
It might be, but it's all good.
Absolutely, thank you. So it's just a chance for me just to come back and, when I think about how did I get to this position where I am today and how did I get here, I would like to go back to, like I said, that time in high school. I remember my economics teacher, Mr. Letcher, I should say, excuse me, Mr. Letcher. I think he just retired not too long ago. He talked to me and talking to the class about,
Is that Mr. Lynch?
Mr. Letcher.
Oh, Letcher. Okay,
he was that. Yeah, Mr. Lynch. He was a former principal, former principal, yes. But Mr. Letcher, he shared with me in the economics class, what are you going to do with your life? He was talking about,
So he was a teacher.
He was a teacher.
Okay.
As social studies teacher at Port St. Lucie High School. Okay. And the lesson was all about the supply and demand, and we was talking about college careers and, the need for a college career, a need for an opportunity for individuals, young boys and girls like myself that was sitting in that desk to talk about, what am I going to do in my future? Because I didn't have a plan for myself after high school. I did not foresee myself and what I was going to do after high school. I just thought I was just going to just go with the flow. Just ride it out,
really?
Ride the wave.
Like most of our kids think.
Exactly. I didn't apply for colleges. I didn't apply for scholarships. I didn't do much of anything but just saying that I just can't wait to get out of high school. And that was my mindset. That was my thought, is that I'm getting out of high school and I'll just figure it out after that. I want to go work. I think maybe working and earning money was going to be the thing for me to do. But my mom had something else in store. My older siblings, they went to college. They went to IRSC first, and they went off to their different respective schools. And Mom was like, no, you need to do something. I'm not going to have a grown man who think they're grown, let me say this, that's what in her words, who think they're grown, to stay in my house and not either A, go to school, or you're going to contribute to these bills.
You were so blessed to have a mama like that.
So, that kind of started the spark of, okay, what am I going to do? Then listening back to my teacher, Mr. Letcher, and he was talking about, if all else fails, ladies and gentlemen, we will always need teachers in this profession because we are always going to be building and we're always going to be growing and we always need individuals to come and teach. I never thought about me being a teacher. I was like, no way, who's doing that? Not me. Come work for kids.
Most of our kids feel.
I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. But you won't believe the career path that I've had that led me into this profession.
That is so funny because I think of one of my grandchildren who said to me, I'll never want to be a teacher. Why? Because the kids are just too bad.
Yeah, having a huge family, I was always surrounded with kids. So not to play teacher, that was not me. But I was always the disciplinary one with all of my younger cousins and siblings. Not say, well, younger sibling, yes, but more so with all my cousins because we kind of grew up together again in New York. But when we moved down here, it was just kind of us and just a couple of my aunts and uncles. So not having that family connection, but we always connected with the family. And I was always kind of...
You said you were only kid?
No, I have two other siblings and a sister, but having family, when we moved here to Florida, we was all in New York and Philadelphia. It was only one uncle that moved to Port St. Lucie. Exactly. So it was like, why did we move? Exactly. So why did we move here? Why did you uproot us from our life in New York, where we're constantly with friends, loved ones, family, and we were continuously growing. But my mom had a different understanding about what was going on. Crack cocaine was ravished in our community at that time, the early 90s. And then she made a decision that, guess what, she needs a safe environment for her kids to live and grow, because it was getting quite dangerous at that time. So that's the primary decision that led us here to Port St. Lucie. But when we moved to Florida,
so what grade were you in?
When I moved here, wow, I'm gonna 6th grade.
6th grade, okay.
Yes, and that's the year, I think, we did the split session year, when some of us had to go in the morning and an afternoon session, and that was hard to understand, like, what's going on. And there was, Port St. Lucie, what you see now, ladies and gentlemen, is not the Port St. Lucie in the 1989, in the 1990s. Let me tell you that. It was woods.
I know.
I was like, we moved to the country. That's what I thought, we moved to the country. But it wasn't. It was an opportunity that now I can go back and say, thanks for moving us, Mom, because I don't know what my life would have been like as a young black boy in New York in the streets. Can I just say that?
Yeah, it's hard to survive that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank God for that caring parent that you had in your life.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about your work, a little bit more. You were at Westwood for 8 years?
Yeah, when I counted, 7 years. So it was 2 years 1 year as an AP, 1 year as an intern principal, and then 4 years as principal, 5 years as principal.
Okay.
7 years total.
So you've seen Westwood come a long ways. Can you, this year, we graduated at Westwood, I believe 90% of the, 95.
No.
95% of the students. And I know when I came, it was like in the 50th percentile of graduates at Westwood. And you were the principal during these last years, because you've been at St. Lucie West for 1 year,
2
right?
years.
2 years.
2 years now.
So you were there at the time, heading up the school. Please tell us, because back in those days, I remember the parents saying, we were in a parade one time and the parents were yelling out, what about Westwood? You're forgetting about Westwood, And that stuck with me. That was one of those things that's, oh my God, So tell us, what did we do to address that situation at Westwood?
To answer your question, Dr. Mills, I was a part of the turnaround team charged by Mr. Lynch, the principal at that time, underneath the direction of Mr. Gent, to make this work. I was a AP at Central at that time when I got the nod from Dr. Prince, who was a deputy superintendent. He came into my office and said, Mr. Lezeau, there's a growth opportunity waiting for you, and sometimes we have to learn from other leadership. So it's time for you to go, and I'm placing you at Westwood. I thought I did something wrong. To be honest, the history of Westwood, if you go back and people know the history of the school, it's not a good story. So my goal was to provide an opportunity so we can change that narrative, change that story. We started out that year, we received a graduating class of 68%. So going back to your 50s, that year, 68%. To Mr. Gent, that was unacceptable. To me, that was unacceptable. To Mr. Lynch, the principal at the time, that was unacceptable. So we did what we do best. We brought in Operation Graduation, a chance where we connected students with a caring adult on the school center. Because sometimes parents don't know. But we as the educators, we do know. So connecting kids with caring adults on campus, being that segregate mom and dad, constantly checking in on their kid.
That's that other ACE that we talk about with Kids at Hope, the philosophy.
That's right.
The more ACEs you have, the more higher your chances of success for a student.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So through the implementation of Operation Graduation, having those caring adults connect with kids, we saw an increase in students coming to school. So that was number one.
That's number one.
We had to get them in.
Right.
We can't teach them if the seats are empty.
That's
right.
right.
So that was number one. We got to get them in the building.
Yeah.
So we got them in the building through these caring adults. Then we got them connected with Saturday programs to come and do boot camps with us on Saturday to meet these graduation requirements, because we'll have to admit that the state of Florida is one of the toughest places to graduate kids.
It is.
There are components that are placed in front of children that they have to meet in order to receive their diploma in May. And our students at that time were not meeting those components. But through the connection, through the relationships, through having the right individuals in the face of kids, and our hiring practices that we put in place through Mr. Lynch, we began to see an increase in our graduation rate.
That just touches my heart, because, at one point in time, it was like, we're a poor county, and these are poor children, regardless of what their race is or nationality, they're poor, the majority of our kids, and therefore they cannot learn. And so you change the mentality of the adults to understand that it's not these children, it's those that are teaching and educating, and it's us, adults. And it is the parents. The parents got to play a part.
Yes.
That's one of the ACEs.
That's right.
I mean, that makes a difference.
It does.
But you got some kids that don't have that in place.
That's right.
And so even the ones that have it, they still need that village.
Correct.
They still need the other ACEs in their lives to succeed. And so I see, I get it.
Yeah. You talked about that. That was actually how Operation we talked about is we're the village. If the village is not going to come, we need to create the village here at our school center. And that began the catalyst the growth. We saw that graduation rate increase from 68 to 81 to 9 to 89 to 90. Then that COVID year, it's unfortunate for those kids that could not, have their ceremonies, graduated about, I think, about 94%. Then my final year, 94.5%. One of the highest posted graduation rates at that time. But I'm so thankful for Mr. Alfonso, who's the current principal right now at Westwood, and the team that he has there, that they continued with the mantra of believing in kids. And that's why we're seeing such great success, because the success that we're having for Westwood is a success for our community now, because now we're talking about 3 to 4 years when these individuals, they have they have their certifications in their hands through industry certifications, through their diplomas, that they're going to come back and be contributing members to our society.
To our community, that's right.
That's going to help
that's
grow.
How each community grows and strengthens. It starts locally.
It starts
in
with
the
the schools.
community.
It starts with the schools. And I was just so, to be so proud to be a part of that development and the growth of not just Westwood, but St. Lucie Public Schools, Fort Pierce, and St. Lucie County.
We are so proud of you that you came in and you believed that children are capable of success, not just saying it, but you believed it. And you took individual kids and brought them back in, like you said. If we don't have them there, you can't educate them, you can't teach them anything. So that was the first step of getting the kids back in school. Mr. Joe, tell me about your earlier childhood days. Were you born in Brooklyn? Are your parents from Brooklyn? Give us some background on where you come from.
Absolutely.
As a family.
Well, for me, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, Kings County Hospital. My parents were, I would be considered a first-generation American. My parents are immigrants from Haiti. That came here for what? A better life, that American dream.
Muy parle petit.
Vous parlez créole avec moi. Don't get me started, Dr.
We just said, because I hate it when people do that to me. You know, when they start speaking their language and I can't understand
I
nothing,
get
right?
you. Absolutely.
I just said that I speak a little Creole, and he was surprised.
Yes, and my response back was, "Oh, so you want to speak Creole to me?" And I can. So
Yeah.
I do. I can speak
I said PT,
fluent,
little.
just a little bit. Yes, all right, absolutely. So my parents' dream was, of course, the American dream. You know, come raise your family. They have better opportunity, better success, a chance of life. And I believe now with my siblings and myself and our children and you know my parents' great grandchildren, we're seeing the lineage of their decision to come to America, and it's helped us be who we are today through their struggle, through their challenges, that we don't repeat those same mistakes
That's
again.
why history is so important,
It is.
and different people's culture history.
Correct.
So you know where you come from.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's one of the things that we don't, as a African American people, we lost a lot of that because of how we came over here.
Correct.
You know, we were not allowed to remember our history. So that is, I feel that is vital. It's educating the whole person. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's not just ABCs,
That's
1, 2,
correct.
3.
Please, no, it's not.
It's the whole person, so that they can know and understand and feel good about their heritage and who they are and what attributes they made. So I'm really big on that African American history studies.
Absolutely.
So, okay, who in your life made a difference that you could remember? Is there anyone that really stands out? It could be a teacher or whoever. I know your parents for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely.
But other than your parents.
So I'm going to go professionally here, if I may. My first principal who hired me on back in 2002, Dr. Kevin G. Perry.
Okay, I love when you bring these names
Yes.
out. Okay.
So and
Kudos,
he had
Dr. Perry.
Yeah, he spotted me out doing a recruitment fair, and I was able to interview with a couple of schools.
What
And
year was this? Do you remember?
2002.
Okay.
Ah, my gosh, that's a while ago, right? When you think about it that way.
Yeah.
And he just gave me his business card, and he just said, "Hey, when you want to talk about what I can do for you and for your career, you give me a call." And that's kind of stuck with me. You can help me in my career, you know, and not understanding what that meant. Having an opportunity to be underneath his leadership for several years, and seeing how he modeled for me what I wanted to be for myself, I was like, I can do this, and he believed in me, and I say that to the kids each and every day is like, I believe in you. And it's not just words for me, it actually is the truth for me. It's like, I believe in you, because if we don't tell kids that we believe in them, they're not going to try their best and give their effort. And that's what that belief in me from Dr. Perry made me believe in myself and my abilities. And I continuously added more and more value to myself, and added additional experiences along the way that helped branch who I am today, and where I am sitting today, where I am now.
Yeah, now, how do you get through those tough times? You know, we all have them.
Absolutely.
We all have those tough times, our challenges in life. Can you give us how you get through them?
Correct, yeah. It's understanding who I am, first and foremost. First and foremost, believing
That's
in
where
that.
that history comes
Yes.
from, and knowing
But also having my belief in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, that'll do it
Because
too.
in the
That'll
book,
really do it.
in the book, there are individuals that you can see their trials and tribulation and how they overcame. That guess what? This is only for a short time. Let it rain on your season and your parade now. But we know what? The sun will shine again. And having with my family, my wife Tangela and my children, they are truly my backbone in helping me cope with some of the challenges professionally and also personally that I faced in my life, and they helped me overcome these challenges, you know. And without them and without my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I just know I'm where I'm supposed to be right now.
Oh, you preaching to the choir now. That's the same thing here, and you feel as if you're on a mission too.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
When
I have purpose.
You have, yes.
You know, I think about Rick Warren's book, Purpose Driven Life. You know, I did a book
I
study
read
on that.
one.
And so, you know, that's I am fulfilling my purpose in life now. I truly have found my purpose. My
And
purpose
it's not
is to
about
impact
you.
life.
See, now we're talking the book now.
No,
y'all.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Let's get back.
No, that's good. That's good. It's not about us.
No, it's not.
It's about giving to others.
Absolutely.
And it's about the Lord. When you're a Christian, it's about the Lord first.
That's right.
And what does He want?
Yeah.
And according to my book, my Bible, He wants us to love others.
That's right.
He wants us to love Him first, and then He wants us to love our community. You know, I'm pastor, so I'll
That's right.
preach in a minute now. Don't get me started. But
I'll join you.
yeah, it's just, it's important to have your priorities in place,
That's right.
no matter what's going on around you.
Correct.
Because we're talking tough times. Tough times can make a person give up if they don't have their priorities in place. You know, it's like, oh, I can't see tomorrow. I can't even see through the day. But guess what? That storm, when they're in the midst of a storm, you cannot see very well. But knowing that you will eventually come through it,
Correct.
you'll be able to see eventually. And so you just have to know that. So you've given us some great, and just with your story and how you deal with life has given us some great aspects on how we can deal with life as well.
Absolutely.
We have a program called The Promise is a Promise.
Yeah.
And I know you know a little bit about that.
I do.
And were you the one that said you didn't want to be a teacher?
Didn't want to. So yeah, when I graduated, I had, like I said, no aspirations of college. The Promise of a Promise campaign was not there at that time, you know, and it's one of the great opportunities that I, as a former high school principal, I recruited teachers that were former students of mine that went and got their certifications, and they came back and taught with me, and they work alongside with me. And I have two now, believe it or not, at St. Lucie West K that I was their assistant principal at Central. Now they're working with me.
They followed through with that.
Yeah, they did, and now they're working alongside with me.
And so that's for every kid.
Absolutely.
It's for every kid that wants to go into education to be a teacher. We promise that they can come back and we give them a job.
We'll give them a job.
Yeah, automatically have a job.
We automatically have a job.
Yeah, and then eventually they can move up like you did.
Well, if that's the desire,
if that's the
desire, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's always an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, it's called ambition. You know, having that ambition, having that growth mindset. That, you know, what more can I do? I didn't think about leadership until the impact that I've had with as a teacher at Seymour Elementary, and then constantly being asked, why are you wasting your time? You could be doing so much more. You can have a greater impact and greater influence.
One more question, because we're out of time.
Oh my gosh.
And you're going to have to answer this with just a yes or no.
You got it.
Do you believe in second chances?
Absolutely. I'm here because of a second chance.
Now we need to hear about that.
Yes, we will.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate you, Mr. Lezeau. You are just such a delight to talk with. And
Thank you, Dr. Mills.
people out there, young people, find someone who can encourage you. You know, I had that one encouragement. And my life was totally different, but it had a lot of challenges to it. And if it wasn't for that one person that said something to me that made me think, I may not be here today.
Absolutely.
So it didn't work at that moment, but it stuck with me until it really got down in me, and I said, wait a minute, girl, you got to do better than this. So, Mr. Lezeau, we sure do appreciate you, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you back, and maybe a couple of years, and maybe next month, it depends on how many people I have.
You let me know, Dr. Mills. I am here at your disposal, and I don't mind sharing my story and where we are.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the Speakers Bureau. Hopefully, Mr. Lezeau have said something to you that can make a difference in your life.